Hey everybody, welcome to Last Republic of the People. This is Shane. This is my second blog on video blog on MAGA Book, and again, real happy to be here and glad to be supporting my president Donald Trump. We saw the big march in D.C. yesterday. A lot of people showed up on a short notice. I think that was 5-6 days in planning. Pretty cool stuff. Watched it on Right Side Broadcasting. I don't know if you guys know who they are, but they pretty good little small. They did most of the Trump rally stuff. They're growing. They started because of Trump and not getting the news out there. Nobody paying the audience when he was calling them fake news in his first rallies in 2016. And that's when they kicked off, and they've been doing a good job and growing, and they're completely funded by us watching them, and they've got in bed with a couple of big names now and some partners and trying to grow just a basic news organization, because obviously what we're seeing out there, big tech, Silicon Valley, they have fundamentally changed this world, this country, which changes the world. We've seen it coming. Obama was a divider. We've seen a lot of this coming. A lot of, George Orwell. A lot of guys told us this was going to happen. We didn't believe it, And I see memes out there. How did 11 million people get lined up to slaughter in Germany? And how did these people just stand there and take it? Well, you're seeing how they do. This is how it works. They come in with the socialism and the guise of free, and we're going to take care of you, and we love you. We're the government, and you accept that, and now you're a welfare state. You collapse. Your middle class is gone, and then it's just the rich and the poor. Can't have that. The purpose of the middle class, which is usually the largest amount of people, is the governing body. You can't be in all three classes. There's usually three classes: a rich, a poor, and a middle. And you can belong to two, but you can never belong to three. There's no such thing as being part of rich and poor. You can be middle class poor, you can be middle class rich, but you cannot be rich and poor at the same time. So when you have the rich, and it's been proven over history, they are generally snobbish towards the poor. They generally think they're better than people because of their wealth. They generally think they can control and tell people how to act because they have the power and the wealth, and they own the corporations or the business or the kingships or whatever they own. And that's the problem. Then they cut out the middle class because we are the power. The people that are poor generally don't stand up because they're just happy to get a loaf of bread or get some water or something. So then it comes down to the middle class who actually work, build these things, put in the place of a governing body to govern the people because it's their responsibility to do so. And this has been how it's been for thousands of years. We finally developed a system that carries a constitution and a Declaration of Independence that's never been written before. It's an unheard of type living, breathing document that we have for our country, and it's in jeopardy right now. So make no mistake, it's not about Biden. It's not about Kamala Harris. It's about a socialist, globalist, elitist plan to fundamentally change this country so that they can have a one world order. The UN, the WHO, those are all plans for a one world order. There was, I believe it was Thomas Jefferson, unite with none and trade with all. And I think that we dropped that mentality. I still have it, but I don't think we should be aligned with anybody at this point. I think we should protect our country. We should protect ourselves, our border, our immigration. We should be worried that people could invade. Say we have a civil war. I don't ever want to see that here, but it could happen. You keep getting Antifas and BLMs and out there violently attacking people and burning and looting. That creates people like the Proud Boys who stood up and did what they did last night in Washington and called out Antifa and gotten a couple little small scuffles. It may have been minor. It may have been them marching. Do we go looking for it? I mean, I don't know if that's the way to go, but who can blame them? What's going to happen? That was an unprecedented event that we planned in 5 days. Imagine if we got down to it and organized and came out there with our Second Amendment rights and our guns, and we actually organized ourselves. I think we'd cause you some damage there, Antifa and BLM. And, if we had to, and that does come to play, I don't know if you guys, again, didn't hear Alex Jones yesterday. He was very adamant about the American Revolution, the start of the second one. Here we are. We will never accept a Biden presidency. We will overthrow and put a government in for us, by the people, for the people. He was very patriotic. He was very. I've never really heard those words spoken except read them in history books. We know when we were having our revolution, we had some of these guys that stood up and were adamant and vocal and got our patriotism out there with the red, white, and blue, and rallied people. And we ended up going to war with England and our brothers and our sisters. And their first revolution was what started this country. And to go to that level again is just it's scary. It's sad. It's unfortunately something that may have to happen. Now, here's what happens. Say Biden's in, we go after him. We go to overthrow this. Does the military support him? I mean, he would be the commander in chief. Or does he call the UN? And then we've got a bunch of Chinese guys in the UN uniforms all over our streets. Or do they come anyway once he gets into his presidency and to squash some of these uprisings of us revolutionaries? So is that what we are now? Are we revolutionaries? I would think we are. Even if it's in an information aspect right now on MAGA Book and Parlors and Facebooks and wherever you're at trying to, get the word out. Yeah, that's it. But when you see guys like Proud Boys on the streets, that's where it's going. And how can you blame us, man? We've been spit at. We've been called racist, names, threatened. I don't bother anybody, but I'm mad now, and I'm going to bother somebody now. I'm not going to be united. I'm not going to accept that Biden is our president when he supports such a socialist ideal. I'm sorry. He's honestly the puppet. The people that are controlling him, he'll be out soon, man. It's the plan. It's the globalization plan. Him, Kamala, any of these puppets, Schumer, they're Pelosi, they're all puppets. And even on the rhinos, man, they're puppets. There's a lot that don't want Trump up there, man. He's the only one that has stood up to these guys. He's the only one that's one of us. He isn't a politician. He's a businessman that got tired of seeing what his country's going through, and he stood up to do something about it. And I've many times gone, hey man, you shouldn't tweet that. Hey man, he had to show it. I can't even imagine what that man has seen behind the scenes and what we don't see and what they're trying to do. And I mean, they're almost there. They've almost succeeded in this. I mean, they're fighting it in the courts. I mean, you got some court judge saying this, you got one judge saying that. We got two. If we lose the House, that's one way of stopping any major changes is having the Senate and the House. But if we lose those two seats and the cases in courts lose, so I guess the bottom line is, guys, is start thinking. I'm sure you have. I know a lot of you have bounced off of Facebook and you're mad and you're fed up and you're scared and you don't know what to do. We got to do what every man is doing. Freedom isn't a word. It's a feeling. It's the way we think. It's within us to strive for, and it's a quest. So it's not something that is written that you can read in a book. Having a free nation, a free country under God, united as a people, it's not something that you can write about or read about or find out in Scripture. How do I find? It's how you feel. It's how you believe, and it's how you know what you are. You feel it within your heart and your soul, and you know that it's the right way to go. Go with your gut. You always go with your gut. God gave us free will to think and make our own choices. So when something is wrong, it feels wrong, right? You can feel it in your gut. So knowing that we are on the right side of history at this point, and that we are going to fight for freedom one more time, and maybe again in the future, I don't know. But that's where we're at, folks. So is it pick up a gun and fight? Is it get on the internet and debate and try to bring down some of these Silicon Valley tech giants? I don't know. I think it's all of these planes. And eventually, I think it's going to have to go to the streets, and we may have to invoke our rights as American citizens and put in a government for the people. I don't have all the answers, guys. I'm just throwing my opinion out there, and I know that I'm on the right path because it feels right, And please drop a comment or reach out to me. I don't have Facebook anymore, but I kept Instagram to just keep in touch with family. I've got friends on here, that you can reach me through text and call me personally. But otherwise, man, ask me a question. I want to learn too. I'm not the smartest guy out there, but I know what I know, and I know what I've seen, and I know what I've seen in the world, and I've seen third world countries, and I've seen how they are, and I've seen what our troops have done when they're actually on the ground fighting to help some other country get voting rights and create a democracy, and yet ours is being destroyed here. What's the point, man? We got to fight for our own, So Alliance with none, trade with all. We got to protect our country. We got to lock up our borders. We got to worry about immigration. We got a lot of things going on, folks. But I think socialism and what we see going on with our current presidency is our main concern. So stay vigilant, stay diligent, and don't let it get to you. We're going to get through this, even if we have to fight for it. We're going to do that, And I hope we don't have to, but if we do, they ain't going to win. So, happy Sunday. God bless you. God bless Donald Trump. And remember, he is still your president. Have a good day.